Guys, Travis, the Fly Fishing Texan here. So today we're in a location that I can't really talk about because it was told to me by a friend and they asked me, well, actually it was told to a friend by a friend and they asked me not to say anything about the actual location. So I'm sorry, the only thing I can say is I'm near Georgetown, Texas. So I have to hike back in here probably about a good half mile to a mile to get to this hole. But apparently this hole is a honey hole. So who knows? Who knows what we might pull out of here today? I'm excited about it, guys. I'm going to bring my 4-weight rod, also my 6-weight rod with the sinking line, and the 4-weight has a floating line on it. Anyway, I'm going to bring both of them because I don't know how deep the water is here. Again, we've had like drought-like conditions for months, and all of a sudden we've been hammered with rain the last 2 weeks. So I don't know the condition of the water, I don't know how deep it's going to be or any of that. Anyways, guys, I'll quit rambling. I'll quit talking. I'll see you on the water. Alright guys, you know we're way off the beaten path when we go from asphalt parking lot to concrete sidewalk to caliche, now to a dirt trail. I hope I'm in the right direction. Looks like I'm still on the correct property, I do believe. So I'm just gonna keep walking and see what happens. Yes, I've come to a Y in the road. That looks like definitely a less traveled path. That looks like it gets quite a bit of traffic. So I'm gonna go down the less traveled. Let's go see if this place is back here. I have no idea. All right, well, I'm gonna get down in this creek. I don't know if I took a wrong turn somewhere. As you guys can see, that's the good old I-35. Where I started was a good 4 or 5 miles or more away from there. And now I have walked all the way back over here. So very, very possible that I walked a little too far. I should have maybe turned off that main path and found a way to get into the creek a little quicker. But we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on here. Okay, all right, a little crazy looking, but I don't know. We're gonna get down. Let me show you guys. Trail's over there. I'm under I-35 right here, and this is the creek down in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off this little embankment and get down in there. All right, guys, so I just came out from there, and looks like there's definitely some fish in here. The water is super, well, I wouldn't say super clear, but it's pretty clear, like an amber clear kind of color. But nice deep hole going back that way upstream, and then of course back toward where I came from downstream, which is probably where we're gonna head. But I'm gonna go ahead and try this little hole upstream here real quick. So one very important aspect of fly fishing, and I had a buddy tell me this a long time ago, no matter if you're fishing for trout, bass, whatever, but if your hole is not producing or hasn't produced, especially your first hole, just move on, forget about it. Don't try to make something that's not there. You guys will see for the next 30 seconds to about a minute my frustrations of doing this. I cut this footage to about 30 seconds to a minute, but in reality I had about probably 2 hours of footage from here and produced nothing but frustration for me. So very important aspect, guys. Just move away from your first hole if it's not producing. Get on down the creek, because later on it got much better.
Oh, you're kidding me. You gotta be stinking kidding me here.
Alright guys, quick update. A little frustrated, but I've messed up a couple leaders. I had a couple little bass get off, but I'm gonna keep going. That's what we do for you guys. Sometimes I get frustrated when I can't when I can't land the fish or when I just start messing up simple stuff. But it's still great. We're out here fishing. We're out here having a great time. Oh, it gets too serious, guys. Sometimes it does get a little frustrating, but hey, we're out here having fun. This is a great time. You gotta just relax and chill sometimes. All right, guys. We'll see you. Guys, that little sunfish, that was my first one. That was a hard one fish today. I plan on getting some more, but oh my goodness. I don't know what it is today, but I mean, I was ruined a couple leaders, brand new leader. I didn't unravel it right, so I jacked it all up and it got all tangled up and messed up, and I wasn't recording on my GoPro, but I broke off on like a 1.5 pound, 2 pound bass. I mean, I had them, I was working them in, I tried to turn on the GoPro, and I broke them off. So, it's just been a struggle today, guys. It's been a struggle, but we're gonna get some fish. We're gonna get some fish.
Let it get my fly.
The raccoon over there. This is crazy. I don't even know if they know I'm here. Isn't that crazy? That's so awesome. I'm just right down here. Okay, back to fishing. And on to the next hole. As I approached this next hole, I knew it was going to be a good one. There was a huge tree down in a semi-deep hole, and I knew there had to be fish under there. And turns out I was right. Not hard to figure out that one though. Guys, I know you can't really tell, but it's getting a little bit late. I'm gonna try to see if I can't get out of here safely, because you see, like, that's downstream, that's back upstream. All right, that's back upstream. So, all right, let's see what we can do. I don't know if I want to kind of bushwhack to get out of here, or if I want to try to keep going with the river and then find a better exit, but I'll see what we can do. I'll figure it out. We're pretty far back in here, so I need to get out of here before it gets too much later, for sure. Not that there's any major danger, but you got snakes, you know, variety of different elements that could be a problem. So I need to figure out how to get out of here. All right, guys, when you're kind of stuck out here in the woods and you got to get like back across the creek like that. So I saw those rocks, but then there's actually, you guys can't see real clear, but there's actually a deer trail that comes down there. So I followed a deer trail around here, down to this, and now I'm actually on it right here. So sometimes animal trails, there's some light. Sometimes animal trails are really helpful. So we're gonna try to follow this up and out. We're gonna try to follow this up and out of here and see if we can't get out, because it's getting pretty dark. I don't really know this area. Again, snakes and other critters. So, and not just other critters, really snakes, but just. All right, a lot of good, a lot of good lessons here. So always carry, if you're going through heavy brush, carry your reels and your rods backwards. Hold the bigger end up here and let that smaller end go behind you. So let's see if we can't get out of here, guys. Sorry about the bad quality of film, but I want to share the adventure with you guys. Literally, like I said, literally following a deer trail right now. Get out of here. So it's gonna bring us out somewhere. Great. Now there's a fence. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I get through this fence. Alright, barbed wire. Always gotta love barbed wire. I pack off, throw it over. See if I can't get through this barbed wire without getting too jacked up, too caught up. All right. Across the, man, you can't see me at all hardly. Wow. Crossed a lot of barbed wire fences in my days. That was pretty easy. All right, guys. I see an opening, so I'm trying to get out of here. All right. Survived it. Wow. It was getting really dark in there. I could not see anything. So we are back out to the path and we're heading back. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here unless there's something else that comes up in my mind. I'm going to interject this. All right, I'm going to interject this somewhere. I'm not sure where, but what do you think worked finally after going through like several different flies, all kinds of topwaters, all kinds of streamers, all kind of things that I tried? Well, the Pat's rubber legs, guys. The Pat's rubber legs was the one that did it. I tell you, that fly works anywhere, anytime, and it is my go-to fly when I'm struggling or having a hard time catching anything. That's the go-to fly. They were liking a kind of a lighter pattern. They really didn't care for the dark pattern so much, the black, but they really liked the light browns, the rust, the olive, the had kind of a, can't remember exactly what it's called, kind of a copper color almost. Anyway, so Pat's rubber legs, guys. Hey, it's the fly. All right, guys. Thanks so much. This was, I guess, an insert somewhere here in a little bit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good here for today. It was quite an adventure. A lot of climbing through down trees over the creek, things like that. A lot of messing with getting lines caught in trees and things like that. So definitely a crazy afternoon, but hey, it was worth it. Caught some decent little fish there. Hooked into a really nice bass. I was so upset, guys, that I didn't have the GoPro going. I'm so sorry about that. But oh my goodness, lost him, but got plenty of other fish, so that made it all worth it. Didn't do very well at the beginning of the first hole. I should have went ahead and just started making my way down the creek before I stayed there for like an hour or 2 hours, however long I stayed there. That was not smart. Sometimes I tend to do that. I try to really fish the beginning of a hole and thinking that, okay, I'm just gonna, finally get something. I'm gonna figure out what they're eating, and it doesn't always work. I know I'm rambling, guys, but it helps you. Sometimes you just need to move past a hole, and a lot of times I'll get stuck on them because I just want to catch a fish out of there because I get stubborn. But it's not always worth it. Sometimes you just need to move on down the creek. That's what I did. Started catching fish, and hey, it was turned into an amazing afternoon after being very frustrated for a little while. So sometimes it pays just to go ahead and move on, and hey, if you don't catch any fish, you moved on, and it was worth it. It was worth a try anyway. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me through this little adventure. This was the second stop on our fly fishing Central Texas tour. Sorry I couldn't tell you guys exactly where it's at. I'm not one of those guys who just keeps fishing hole secrets or things like that, but I do respect friends if they ask me not to tell where a hole is. So, all right, guys, thanks so much again. Hey, God bless, and go fly fishing. Out. All right, guys, now I know you really can't see me, so I'll try to get as much light as possible. So these beautiful fly rods, I took them down and put them into pieces and reeled the line up, right, whenever I was trying to get out of the woods there, and broke them down, put them together, and was, coming out through the woods. When I crawled through that fence, I left a piece behind. I didn't notice. I was pretty much almost halfway back to the parking lot, so I went ahead and ran all the way back here with the flashlight and found it. Praise God. Oh man, that's my 4-weight. That's my first rod I ever bought. So I would be heartbroken if I lost that thing. So, oh guys, so I ran all the way back here, I'm a little out of breath. Sorry, I'm trying to find some light, but I really can't. But I'm a little bit out of breath, but now I gotta start heading back. Got about, I don't know, I guess it's about maybe a mile and a half or so to get back from here. So mile and a half, maybe 2 miles. So I better get walking, guys. We'll see ya. Thanks so much again for watching, guys. God bless. Go fly fishing. Really appreciate you guys watching today. Thanks for staying tuned all the way to this craziness. See you later, guys. So you know we're way off the beaten path when we go from Caliche to, I can't really see, but